Welcome to Hot Drama TV.
When presence outshines perfection, Liu Yuning's Guangzhou moment and the quiet power of a true top star. At first glance, it was a scene full of contradiction. Liu Yuning appeared at the KuGou music headquarters in Guangzhou, stepping into the building with a noticeably slender frame, dressed in a loose-fitting suit that seemed almost too big for his body. His silhouette looked fragile. His shoulders failed to fully fill the jacket. His long legs appeared thin, almost delicate. And yet, the moment he arrived, the crowd closed in. Cameras lifted. People gathered. The air shifted. Because somehow, despite the imperfect image, his presence was impossible to ignore. This was not the kind of top star moment built on flawless proportions or carefully sculpted visuals. Instead, it revealed something far rarer in today's entertainment industry. A celebrity whose aura does not depend on appearance, but on something deeper: earned authority, quiet confidence, and years of relentless persistence. The entrance. A CEO aura forged by experience. From the instant Liu Yuning stepped out of the car, his posture told a story. His stride was steady, his expression calm, his gaze firm yet warm. It was the unmistakable presence of someone who has played powerful roles for years and absorbed them into his bones. Fans joked online that he looked like a CEO inspecting his own company, half-seriously claiming he seemed ready to acquire KuGou at any moment. And strangely, the joke didn't feel exaggerated. Inside the building, clearer footage revealed more details. A blue and black tailored suit, black trousers, a crisp white shirt, silver wire-rimmed glasses framing eyes that never stopped smiling. He looked at every staff member with sincerity, meeting each gaze as if it mattered, because to him it did. There was no sense of distance, no invisible wall between top star and ordinary people. Only warmth, attentiveness, and genuine respect. Even when surrounded by people, he moved slowly and carefully, scanning the room, acknowledging every camera, every face. This wasn't arrogance. It was awareness, professionalism refined through years of being overlooked. The contrast that sparked the internet. But what truly ignited discussion wasn't his manners, it was his body. Tall, yes, but extremely thin. His suit hung loosely, the shoulders slightly hollow, the fabric unable to find a solid structure beneath it. In another era, this might have become criticism. Instead, it became conversation. Because despite his frail appearance, his charisma never weakened. He remained the visual center of every frame. Every movement felt composed. Every gesture carried weight. There was a calm elegance about him, an inner steadiness that no tailoring could create. And perhaps that is why this moment resonated so strongly. It challenged the public's expectations of what a top-tier idol is supposed to look like. Liu Yuning does not dominate through perfection. He commands attention through presence. No star air, only human warmth. What followed made the moment even more memorable. Wearing a KuGou staff badge, Liu Yuning passed through security gates like any employee. Then, instead of being served, he served. He personally handed out fruit cups to staff and fans, offering warm greetings with every exchange. No assistants doing the work for him. No symbolic gestures. Just simple, genuine kindness. The atmosphere instantly softened. This wasn't a carefully staged publicity trick. It felt natural, almost instinctive. The behavior of someone who remembers what it feels like to be on the other side of the spotlight. And that perhaps is why people stayed. Not a coincidence, but a signal. This visit was no accident. Back on December 25, 2025, KuGou Music officially announced Liu Yuning as its brand ambassador, launching a year-long collaboration titled Ning Times Cool. His appearance at the Guangzhou headquarters was both a fulfillment of that role and a quiet prelude to upcoming exclusive projects. But beyond business, the visit symbolized something more profound: how far he has come. From the shadows to the center. The contrast becomes even sharper when viewed against his past. In 2021, Liu Yuning stood quietly on red carpets, often positioned at the edges, politely handing pens to lead actors during autograph sessions. In 2023, after gaining attention from A Journey to Love, he still chose to stand behind Liu Shirshir during promotional appearances, never changfengtou, never seeking dominance. And now in 2026, he leads the room. Yet nothing about him has hardened. The long road few saw. Born in 1990 in Dandong, Liaoning, Liu Yuning's journey began far from spotlights. As the lead singer of the Modern Brothers band, he sang on the streets, streamed online, and built his first audience through pure vocal strength. No background, no connections, no safety net. He took small commercial gigs, low-budget events, unstable jobs, anything that allowed him to keep going. Once he said in an interview, "Work is my entire life." That wasn't ambition. It was survival. His breakthrough came gradually, from hot-blooded youth in 2019 to steady recognition through The Long Ballad and Who Rules the World. He built credibility piece by piece. Then came 2025. The Prisoner of Beauty Zhe Yao exploded across platforms, surpassing 800 million effective views. His portrayal of Wei Xiao ranked among the top 5 most popular male characters in historical dramas, helping the series win 6 major Tencent Golden Goose Awards. This wasn't overnight success. It was delayed recognition. The cost of the climb. His current thinness tells its own story. In recent years, Liu Yuning has balanced dramas, music, variety shows, and concerts simultaneously. In 2025 alone, he starred in The Prisoner of Beauty and A Dream Within a Book, while holding a 3-city concert tour. In early 2026, he joined the variety show Have Songs Season 2, barely stopping to breathe. The results are undeniable. His Douyin topic views have reached 49.87 billion, solidifying his status as a true top-tier star. But the cost is visible. Why people believe in him? Online reactions to the Guangzhou visit were simple, honest, and telling. Even in a loose suit, he looks like a boss inspecting his company. "I missed him in Guangzhou. Biggest regret this year. No exageración. No blindwership. Just recognition of something real." The entertainment industry is full of perfect faces. But Liu Yuning stands out because he never relied on them. His strength comes from resilience shaped at the bottom, humility preserved at the top, and a body of work that speaks louder than any styling. As the saying goes, gold will always shine. His rise was never accidental. It was inevitable. And this quiet walk through a corporate building revealed a new definition of stardom. No need for flawless appearance, no need for hype. Only presence, integrity, and earned respect. As his collaboration with KuGou deepens and future projects unfold, one thing is certain: Liu Yuning's story is far from over, and it will continue to inspire those who are still fighting their way forward. A different kind of power. What makes Liu Yuning truly compelling is not the spectacle around him, but the restraint within him. In an industry obsessed with domination, he never rushes to overpower the room. Instead, he allows the room to notice him naturally. His power is not loud. It is accumulated, layer by layer, year by year. That is why even in silence people stop and watch. Even when his body looks worn from overwork, his spirit stands upright. This is the kind of star who does not need to announce his status. His presence does it for him. Why his thinness became a symbol, not a flaw. Many viewers noticed his gaunt figure and asked the same unspoken question: is he too tired? But for longtime followers, the answer was already clear. That thinness is not weakness. It is evidence. Evidence of someone who has been running without pause, across studios, stages, cities, and scripts. Evidence of a man who treats every opportunity as something that could disappear if he doesn't give it everything. For Liu Yuning, rest was never guaranteed. Only effort was. And that mindset never left him, even after becoming top tier. A star who never forgot the floor he stood on. Perhaps the most striking thing about his Guangzhou appearance was how unperformative it felt. No exaggerated smiles. No rehearsed gestures. No artificial intimacy. Just a man walking through a building, greeting people as equals, handing out fruit cups with both hands, thanking staff with his eyes before his words. That behavior cannot be taught by PR teams. It comes from memory, from remembering what it felt like to stand unnoticed, to wait for a chance, to be grateful for anyone who listened. This is why his fans don't just admire him, they trust him. The quiet evolution of a top-tier star. Liu Yuning represents a new kind of top star in Chinese entertainment. Not one built overnight by algorithms. Not one protected by capital from the beginning, but one forged slowly through resistance, rejection, and relentless output. His journey rewrites the definition of Ding Liu. It's no longer about perfect visuals or constant exposure. It's about credibility. When he stands in front of people now, they don't just see a celebrity. They see a timeline, a history, a person who arrived here honestly. Why this moment mattered more than it seemed. On the surface, this was just a building visit, a routine brand event, another set of paparazzi photos. But moments like these are rarely just what they appear to be. This was a snapshot of a man at a crossroads, no longer climbing desperately, but still refusing to slow down. A reminder that success does not always soften people. Sometimes it sharpens their sense of responsibility. The message he sends without saying a word. Without speeches or slogans, Liu Yuning sends a clear message. You don't need to be flawless to be respected. You don't need to shout to be heard. You don't need to forget where you came from to move forward. In a world that rewards shortcuts, his path proves that consistency still works. What comes next? With deeper collaboration with KuGou on the horizon, new music projects underway, and more drama set to release, Liu Yuning's future is not just busy, it's meaningful. Each role adds weight. Each song carries history. Each appearance reinforces trust. And perhaps that is why people keep watching him, not out of curiosity but out of belief. Belief that effort still matters. Belief that humility can survive success. Belief that someone who climbed from the ground up knows how to stand without stepping on others. The ending that feels like a beginning. That day in Guangzhou did not feel like a peak. Felt like a pause. A brief moment where the world caught up with him and realized he had already moved ahead. Liu Yuning didn't change the room by doing something dramatic. He changed it simply by being himself. And in an industry crowded with noise, that may be the most powerful statement of all. And maybe that is why this moment matters. Not because Liu Yuning walked through a building, not because cameras followed him, not because fans surrounded him, but because in a world obsessed with perfection, he stood there thin, tired, imperfect, and still looked unshakable. He didn't conquer the room. He didn't demand attention. He simply existed, and the room adjusted itself around him. That kind of presence can't be styled. It can't be trained, can only be earned. From street stages to stadium lights, from nameless corners to the center of the frame, he didn't rise by being louder than others. He rose by lasting longer. So when people ask why Liu Yuning is still standing at the top, the answer isn't in his clothes, his body, or even his fame. It's in the years he refused to quit, when no one was watching. And perhaps that's the quiet truth this Guangzhou moment revealed. A real top star doesn't shine because the light is on him. The light comes on because he's there. If you believe effort still matters, if you believe humility can survive success, then his story isn't just something you watch. It's something you carry with you. And this is far from the end.